albeit we're already in the middle of that. We've been focusing through the winter on working within our own teams and with our stakeholders on planning for our record summer ahead. 190 destinations, 43 airlines, and we're dealing with all of our stakeholders to ensure that we are ready. And so we'll take you through on a number of different elements of improvements that we've made through. But I suppose the key point that to bring across today is that, while working with our stakeholders, ensuring we have an efficient operation, we are very, very much focused on improving the passenger journey and making sure everybody has the most enjoyable experience possible as they move through Dublin Airport. To start off though, to ensure that people enjoy their experience through Dublin Airport and to be assured and not under too much pressure going through, we haven't changed any of our passenger advice. So just to remind people of that we're still recommending passengers to arrive 2 hours before short haul flights and 3 hours before long haul flights. Obviously we always recommend to check with your airlines in case there's any changes to any of their schedules or any of their plans. 2025, as I said, we're already into the peak of it. While it has been a year of two halves, while the first 3 months, while we were in what was known as the winter season, we were constrained, and obviously that slot restriction meant that there was no growth in that period. But since we've moved into the summer season and that restraint has been released, we've seen significant growth, with 8% up on April versus last year and 4% in May. It's included some really, really busy days. On the 29th of May, we had our busiest day from a point of view of ever at the airport, from a point of view of aircraft movements, with 831 movements coming and going during that day. We've had 5 days over 120,000 passengers so far this year, and we used to talk about 100,000 days. We've had 56 of them already so far this year, so they're becoming the norm now. And as we get into the summer, the 110,000, the 120,000 days becomes the norm. Our projections for the full year at this point is as you can see there, is just over 36 million. So significant busy summer ahead, and I suppose that's what we've been gearing up for and getting ready through. And and one of the areas a lot of focus we would have talked on before is around our security. And delighted to say that 96% of passengers are through security in under 20 minutes. So an improvement on last year, and I'll touch on that, the C3 project and security later in my presentation. As I said, we're relentless on the basics here at Dublin Airport. All of our teams are focused on delivering the best passenger experience and operation day in, day out. We're really keen to take passenger feedback and to act on that passenger feedback. Just last week we attended the passenger panel, where we bring a selection of our passengers in to give us feedback on what they like on the changes we've made so far, and to give us further ideas and inputs into areas they think we need more focus. And a lot of the stuff that we've delivered through the winter and continue to deliver through the summer is that continuous improvement we're trying to achieve from the passenger feedback. And Laura will speak to that a bit more later as well. But the feedback so far has been really positive, but we don't rest on that, and we always are looking to improve. So delighted with the Q1 results, but again, as I say, always looking to improve on that. Some of the things that people will notice, hopefully, we've really, seating is always an area in which people are feeding back to us around more seating, more comfortable seating, and we're in the process of delivering 1,000 new seats at the moment. We have teams working each night at the moment, building new seats that have been delivered in and distributing them out onto the piers. So we'll have by the end of that project an additional 1,000 seats across the terminals. We are improving on our food and drink and all our concessionaires. I'll touch on that again later. And a lot of focus on our lounge offering and improving that lounge offering for people who want to avail of it, with the recently revamped Liffey and Martello having really good positive feedback from that so far. Again, lots of individual elements and projects. One of the ones that again passengers have given us great feedback is the I suppose refocus on our hydration stations. We always had them, but we improved the look and feel of them, requiring a touchless solution, delivering a touchless solution, which means now that people are far happier to use those. And we're seeing a significant uptake in water being taken from them, with over 100,000 bottles of 500 millilitre waters in the last month alone. As I said, we're relentless on the basics. Cleaning in an area of this size, terms this size, is always a challenge. Our teams are really focused on that. And we use the quieter periods in the lead into the summer to deliver a lot of deep cleaning and other cleaning projects. So all 430 of them, as I say, there completed, and really hopefully embeds higher standards as we move into the summer. We're always looking to improve the facilities for all types of user groups. So examples of that is new kids play areas on all piers, where there's on the wall and areas where kids can be entertained, different gaming options. And very soon at the end of Pier 1 we're introducing a gaming zone. So again, that's feedback from another cohort of family with older teens, I suppose, like myself, that maybe won't play with some of the traditional kids areas, and so now we're trying to offer a new offering from them. And for people, passengers travelling with pets, that was again feedback that the offering for pets relief in the airside areas needed to be improved, and so we're working on that at the moment as well. Our commercial teams are really focused on adding a lot of value and improved experience for people who want to use our commercial products. As you'll see, if you're in Terminal 1 at the moment, we have a building project around the security, and we will later in the year open a new fast track facility on the upper level in Terminal 1. Our VIP Terminal Platinum has doubled in size with an upper level delivering additional lounges. And in the car parks, our drop and go product that we introduced in T2 last year has been really popular and getting lots of positive feedback. So we've now rolled that out in T1 as well, and that's again a good uptake on that so far. And our Airport Club, our loyalty product, we've relaunched that, revamped the tiers, and again trying to offer people who want to avail of additional services, additional benefits, a loyalty product around that. So as I mentioned already, lots of focus on food and beverage, and providing it's such a key aspect to the passenger experience. Our teams have really focused on transforming the offering across our terminals, and we talked a lot about that last year. We're now seeing those areas have opened since. More recently, I suppose, Butler's in T2 and Roasted Notes in T2 arrivals, and Fitzgerald's, the bar in T2 landside, has opened a new full kitchen now and offering a far better menu. In T1, a number of different openings there. Pret Manger in particular has received very positive feedback. And coming later in the year, we'll have San Marco, a new Italian sit-down restaurant. So again, offering those I suppose options that our passengers have fed back to our teams, and really trying to give a really good local feel to the offering as well as we move forward in our offerings for our passengers. I mentioned security earlier, so just an update on that. The C3 project has been going really well. I think we explained last year that it was a challenging project to deliver all of that new, larger, heavier infrastructure, in particular in T1. We've finished the rollout, as you would have seen, in T2, and we're now almost complete in T1, and by October we'll have in effect replaced all of the old X-ray lanes with the new C3 lanes. In the interim, however, there's still a possibility that people will use the old lanes. So the old rules, we're still advising the old rules in case you are using those old lanes. But even on the new C3 lanes, the liquids still, the 100 millilitre liquids rules still apply. We are hopeful that will change soon, but we're awaiting clarity, I suppose, from the EU in relation to that. The UK, interestingly, have introduced a new 2 litre limit on through their C3 machines. So hopefully we'll be in a position to introduce that, but it's obviously a regulatory decision at EU level at the moment. But either way, I suppose by the end of the summer, we're very, very confident that every passenger will be passing through a C3 lane, availing of hopefully the reintroduced increased liquid rule, and availing of leaving your electronics and other equipment in your bag. One of the strong feedback points that we received in previous year was just people arriving into Dublin, in particular people who aren't familiar, struggling to get, I suppose, enough information around their options for onward travel. So we really focused on that through the winter, introduced colour-coded wayfinding routes to help people for when they get off, and no matter what pier they get off, to find their way to their onward transport destination. And we introduced a new transport hub in the atrium in T1, where we've installed seating, we've installed maps, we've installed screens that give you onward travel information, and access to a lot of online information that will really help on that. And again, it's early since we've introduced that, but a lot of the feedback has been really positive. And so again, hopefully people will feel we're listening to their feedback and really delivering on the things that are important to people as they arrive into Dublin Airport equally as much as they depart. You would have seen recently that the viewing platform received planning approval, so we're delighted to get cracking on that project now. Obviously it being from the community myself and availing of and knowing of locals who come to enjoy watching the aircraft, whether they're departing or not, I think formalising that area and providing a really good facility for them is an important addition to our airport. And so delighted that project is now able to proceed. And speaking of community, I suppose we were delighted to see that the independent research carried out by Red Sea did identify that 86% of Fingal residents support further development of Dublin Airport. That they agree that having an airport in the community fuels economic development. As I said, I live in the community myself, and an awful lot of our teams live in our local communities. So we are delighted that the feedback from those communities are really positive around the airport, and we also want to continue to do more in those communities. So we've launched our 2 million Elevate 25 school support in the last few weeks, and we have another 500,000 that we'll be awarding to local groups and clubs and societies this year as we give back to our local communities. And finally, we've also gifted an 8-hectare rewilded habitat to Fingal County Council for educational use. So again, that really is our willingness and our wish to be part of this broader community, a key employer, a key neighbour, and to play our part in the communities as well. So I suppose in summary, hopefully you can see there, we are continuously focused on improving the passenger experience at Dublin Airport, improving their experience through the airport, the efficiency of it, the sense of place, the standards, and hopefully that will continue to result in positive feedback as we go through what will be hopefully a busy and successful summer. So thank you. I'll hand over to Laura now.